Wow. Hello, welcome. Today we actually have some One Piece to show off. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hello, 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 hello. Take a seat, take a seat. Welcome into the unboxing of some starter decks. These are the two starter decks that came out literally today. ST-17, ST-18. In fact, of course, I do have the other two hanging out over here. I had just picked these up probably like about an hour ago. And I'm happy. I got these for a great price. I've been seeing the online market for them, and man, it's rough out there for you guys. Again, shout out to my OGS. Will not be named, but you know, I do appreciate them. I think they've really hooked me up. They've done a great job hooking me up. I've shouted them out in the past, but man, they're always coming in, man. They don't like scalp, thank God. And they always have stock. They guaranteed One Piece stock. They're not a One Piece LGS, but they make sure they got the stock. So anyways, we're gonna be opening these up. The plan is to look through some of the cards and then obviously make some upgrades, because I have currently two decks for the whole reason why I bought these. I have a Boa deck and I have a Luffy deck, starter deck Luffy, that are both gonna get upgraded. Granted, they're not gonna get a lot of upgrades because especially the Luffy deck, there's not a lot of cards in here I actually need. Unfortunately, the what's his name, Usohachi, the Usopp card is only a 2 of in these starter decks. I wish it was a 4 of, but you know, it is what it is. At least I have extra cards to sell here, so I'm not too concerned. But we're gonna start with probably the one that everyone's interested in. We're gonna do the Doflamingo. Also, there are packs in here. If you didn't know, there's treasure cup packs in here that I will be opening up after I look at the cards. And we'll see what we got. Actually, I got a little surprised because we did get extra. My brother got some cards, and I want to show you exactly what he got. Oh, cool. Okay. So there's the box. Nothing left. And I'll open up the other two off camera. And then this is kind of like what we're used to seeing here. You know, come on, please open. I'm not too worried about these because these are just like paper play mats. Ooh, ASMR of really crinkly paper. But yeah, there's the playmat. As you can see, like compared to my actual like desk mat, it's a little bit smaller than my desk mat, but my desk mat is not very big to begin with. And then of course they have the rules and whatnot. In case you didn't know how to play, you know, the rules are here. So if you do get a starter deck, they do give you an idea of what to do, how to start the game. Always helpful because this game it's still not that complicated, thankfully, but it's getting there, you know. There's our extra pack. We're going to be opening these after we've looked at everything. I'll just put that there, and then all trash. I'll try to keep the garbage all together. There we go. So there we go. Here is our first deck. It's going to be the Doflamingo. I'm going to see how easy it is to open this up without bringing out a knife. Ideally, I'd like to just open this up without any external tools. Let's see. I see there's a seam line, but where's the tear? How do I tear this thing apart? You know what? I got strong fingers. I can tear this bad boy apart. I can break these cuffs. I can't break these cuffs. All right. Ugh. Of course. Look away, children. As I destroy and cut up my existing cards in here and completely destroy the value of everything. But there we go. We got there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we are getting into the deck. There we go. Finally. Whoopa. So here's our leader, Doflamingo. It looks great, actually. I really enjoy the way they redid the art for this. And then, as you would suspect, there are going to be 10 normal Dons. These are awesome. I'm so glad that they make these, because a lot of times they don't have the white back when you get them from packs. And it's always nice just to have extra default Dons in your deck or in your bulk in case you build a new deck and you want to try something. So anywho, if you don't know who this is, hold on. What? There you go. You can see me. I would be shocked if you played One Piece and you don't know who this leader is. He has been like foretold, you know, his names have been in the scriptures for at least half a year of like, oh, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be the deck, you know? But this is Doflamingo, Don Quixote Doflamingo, 5k, 5 life, blue card. And it has Dawn, so you attach 2 Dawn. When attacking, tap 1 Dawn, reveal 1 card from the top of your deck. If that card is a 7 Warlords of the Sea type character card with a cost of 4 or less, you may play that card rested. I believe he was originally in OPO. Was he in OPO 1? Yeah, he was. I'm looking at the release thing. At the very bottom, he still has OPO 1. He's like, this is not like a set, like a starter deck numbered card. This is like just a reprint essentially with new art. But, you know, in OPO 1, this was not that great. Not until OPO like 6, when Jinbei came out, was this actually like a viable deck. And now with the starter deck, it's just like, it's gone to the moon. Now this is currently the meta. Well, this is predicted to be the meta. I have my doubts. It's a very good swarm deck. It's a very good aggro deck. I would say it's like aggro to mid. Like the thing is, in One Piece, aggro and mid are kind of pretty close to each other. So I would definitely say this is like your aggro swarmy style deck. You just play your weenie bodies and you start swinging in for big numbers. But yeah, there's your leader. Put him to the side, and then we'll start looking at some of the new stuff. I'm gonna put them over here. It'll be a little easier to pull from. So our first card in the deck is our 2 of Trafalgar Law. Now this is like this is a deck this is a card I'm definitely adding. I'll put that there. A little harder to see. This is definitely something that's going into the Boa deck. It kind of plays into a strategy really well. It is a super rare, I believe, but obviously in the starter decks, rarities don't really matter all that much. You know, thanks to things like Uso Hachi, who is a common, I think, but is also a 2 of. So anyways, Trafalgar Law is a 4-drop 5k power 1k counter with okay stats. On play, you may return this character to its owner's hand. If the leader has 7 Warlords of the Sea type, return up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to its owner's hand. So that's great. This is like exactly what Boa wants. Boa wants removal and being able to recycle your 4 costs back into your hand. Not bad. So regardless, if you meet the requirements, you're going to draw cards with Boa. So good body. Obviously, you can play it off of Jinbei. You can play, Dofi can play this, and then it can bounce a 4 costs from your opponent's field back to its hand. So yeah, not bad. Also, I want to apologize. My hands are not looking the best for camera work. I spent the past week, since I think Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, I started doing gardening. Like I started to rework our garden, our landscaping stuff. And man, I have a lot of plants that can chew me up. So yeah, apologies for that. Anyways, our next card is our 2 of Boa Hancock. Man, this is another one that was highly looked forward to. Like a lot of people were really happy to see this, not only because it's Boa, but because it works really well with Doflamingo. And obviously it's just a good blocker. It's a decent blocker. A 4/6 with no counter they're okay stats. Not having counter kind of sucks, but the fact that it's a 4-drop in Doflamingo can play this rested. I don't know if you necessarily want to do that, but what's great about this character is its effects. So it's a blocker, and then on play, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them back either on the top or bottom in any order. Then give up to 1 rested Dawn card to one of your 7 Warlords of the Sea type leader or character cards. So obviously, this is exactly what Doflamingo wants to be doing. Doflamingo wants to be manipulating the top of its deck, and then it also wants Dawn. So being able to put 1 Dawn on Doflamingo makes it a little easier to activate his ability a little more smoothly. And then that also kind of turns this into a 3 cost, sort of. Obviously, another great combo is playing this with Jinbei. You're gonna hear that a lot in this video, how this card is just good with Jinbei. And of course, Jinbei is just like one of those crazy strong cards. Definitely like on the scale of like Gecko Moria. That is how strong Jinbei is in the Warlord deck. Our next one is a 4 of, and be a little bit familiar. It's Crocodile. It's our 4-drop Crocodile. Actually, this one's pretty good. I think this one's a little more. No, I think you should play this. Honestly, if you have a Warlord engine, you could probably add this in there. So it's a 4-drop 5k 1k power. On play, reveal up to the top of your deck. Reveal one card from the top of your deck that, if that card is a 7 Warlords of the Sea type card, draw 2 cards and place 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck. So obviously, if you're playing a Warlord deck, this is basically draw 2, put 1 on top of your deck. And with Doflamingo, you know, if you have like a good bomb in your hand, you can just put it on top of your deck and let Doflamingo play it out for free. So awesome. Really great Crocodile. Love to see it. Here is our first example of a common that is a 2 of, which, you know, obviously is the reason why I said rarities don't matter in these starter decks, because they're just going to put it at whatever number they want. So Buggy, for some reason Buggy is a 2 of. I love that. You know, I love that. So Buggy is a 1-drop, or yeah, 1 cost, 2k power, 2k counter. Really good. Awesome stats. Its on play ability is look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them at the top or bottom in any order. Wait, no, and place them at the top in any order. Okay, so you can place them, so it doesn't bottom deck anything. That's good. That's fine. It's a good top deck manipulation. It's a 2k counter. It's a 1-drop, and it's Buggy the Clown. Like, how can you not love this silly man's face? Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but Buggy's such a great 2k counter. Love this card. I'm so glad it's in the deck. I'm glad I have 4 of them now. Our next one, speaking of 4 ofs, is another 4 of Blackbeard or Marshall D. Teach. Now this is more of a contentious one. Contentious? This is more of a controversial add-in. Like, people aren't really sure if they want this in the deck at 4 of or at 2 of, or what do you do with this? I think in Doflamingo, I think it's good. You can run this if you have the space to run this. What I would cut, I don't know what I would cut for this. This is one of those situations where Doflamingo just has too many good cards, and this is just one of the good cards that just end up getting cut. So let me read it, and then you can make judgments yourself. So Marshall D. Teach is a 2-drop for 3k power and a 1k power. That's fine. Normally you don't want to be playing some of these cards for that low cost unless they have a really good ability, which thankfully this has a pretty good ability. So to activate main, once per turn, you may place 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck. Obviously we know Doflamingo wants to do that. And then give up to 2 Rested Dawn cards to your leader, or one of your characters. Okay, it's worded a little weird. So basically, activate main. So you can activate this kind of whenever you want. It gets around, like, you know, on play effects. And then it places a card from your hand to the top of your deck, which we know Doflamingo wants to do. And then it gives 2 Rested Dawn to Doflamingo. Essentially, it gives it to Doflamingo. Turning this into a 0-cost card, and then being able to activate your Doflamingo with whatever you wanted is pretty strong. Like, I think this is definitely worth putting into the deck. And it's still a 7 Warlords, so it is still searchable and it's still playable. I know that some people have argued that, you know, late game, you don't want to be using this. However, late game, it's a 1k, so I don't think it's that bad. So there's that. I think Teach is definitely worth running in the deck if you have it. Another card that I think we've seen a couple of, however, it's not shiny or anything, is the Don Quixote Doflamingo 3-cost blocker. And as we know, it's a 3-cost 4k 1k power. We talked about this card in the past. It's a blocker. On play, look at the top 5, put them in any order you want, at the top or at the bottom of your deck. Staple for Doflamingo. Early turn deck manipulation. Great card. You get the non-foil, but you know, the foil one's gonna be pretty cheap, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Overheat. I've never played Overheat. I think this was during, is this during Dressrosa or is this during Marineford? That looks like Marineford, if I had to guess. It's a little hard to tell because, like, I know this is a Doflamingo attack. I know he can superheat his strings to make a rope, so I'm guessing this is Dressrosa. But Overheat is a 2-drop counter event, and it has counter up to 1 of your leaders or characters gain 4k power during this battle, then return up to 1 active character with a cost of 3 or less to its owner's hand. That's okay. For 2 costs, that's fine. And then its triggers return up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to its owner's hand. Triggers a little bit better, but you know, for 2 Dawn, you're asking for a lot. because you're basically asking a Doflamingo player to not activate their Doflamingo and instead keep the counter up for this. So probably worth cutting. I wouldn't recommend it. I would probably just do Perfume Femur if you're going to do a 2-drop event. Our next one is Gekkomoria. This is our vanilla Gekkomoria. Actually really good in this deck. Being a 4 cost 6k 1k counter, this is a vanilla body that you can play off of your Doflamingo ability, you can play off of your Jinbei ability, and it's just a big body that it's hard for your opponent to answer, or it's a little bit harder to answer early on in the game. Then our next card is going to be our Bartholomew Kumas, and I mean, this one is fine. I don't think anyone's running this past OPO2 because, you know, obviously we have Sengoku. Sengoku is the better searcher for this archetype. And Bartholomew Kuma is a 3-drop 3k power 1k counter. On play, look at the top 2 cards at your top of your deck, reveal them, reveal up to 1/7 Warlords of the C-type card and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. It's not great. You get to look at the top 2 cards, you get to draw a Warlord card, and then you can decide where the second card goes. It's okay. For 3-drop, probably don't want to be doing this. I would say Sengoku is probably just a better version. It's worth cutting the Warlord type in order to get like a decent searcher in the deck, if you need a searcher. Arguably, I don't even think Doflamingo needs a searcher because he just turns through his deck so quick. Next one is Vanilla Body, Edward Weevil. This is probably one of the ugliest cards I've seen. Unfortunate. There we go. You can see me now. It's a 3/5 1k counter, literally nothing else. It's a nothing card. Very unfortunate. Ian has the big ugly text box with nothing on it. You know, you think they would have at least taken the effort to remove this to make the art look a little bit better, but that doesn't help. And it's also like a anime screenshot. You can see it's just a screenshot from the anime. Again, not a big fan of that art, so don't recommend playing it. What I do recommend playing though, definitely keep in the deck, are your 4-drop Gekkomorias. These are the effect ones. These are the ones that recur a card from your grave. So this Gekkomoria, still ugly, still an ugly card, but it's a good card. Is a 4-drop 5k power 1k counter. On play, add up to 1/7 Warlords of the Sea or a Thriller Bark Pirate type card with a cost of 4 or less other than Gekkomoria from your trash to your hand. So this recurs. This is going to recur Jinbeis from your grave if they ever get dealt with. This recurs, is it only characters? Yeah, only characters. So this is going to also recur your 2k counters. So any 2k counters you have in the deck, you'll be able to pull it back to your hand. Just overall, high utility card. No reason to not run 4, so highly recommended as well. Speaking of 2k counters, probably what you want to be recurring is your Draco Mihawks. Now this is an oldie but a goodie. 4-drop 5k power 2k counter. Also kind of ugly art, but what can you do? You have the promo packs. You know, there are better art versions of this character, so don't worry too much about that. This Draco Mihawk though has a attach 1 Dawn when attacking, draw 2 cards, then trash 2 cards from your hand. Straight up good card. Good card draw. Well, good cycling. This is the type of cycling we had before we had Sabo. And it's still pretty good. This still does work. It also doubles as a 2k counter that you can recur with Gekkomoria. It's a 4-drop, so it's something you can play with Jinbei, and you can play with Doflamingo. So this card still has a lot of utility despite being all the way back from the original starter decks. The original Crocodile list, I believe. This came from ST-03. Great card. And then here's another one. Another 4 of. We have a 4 of Trafalgar Law, 1-drop Law. I've heard a lot of arguments about running this or about cutting it. I am on the fence about these cards. These 1-drop blockers. Not only is this kind of ugly, it looks a little better because they're using a more transparent text block. However, I don't know. The art's not that great. Well, the background's not that good. The art is definitely a screen grab. And a 1-drop blocker, it is useful to have a 1-drop blocker because that saves counter from your hand. So you don't have to use an event and you don't have to use counter cards from your hand. You just throw this at whatever your opponent has, whatever your opponent's trying to swing with. You just block with this and you're good. However, being a 1-drop 1k power, you are very, very, very vulnerable to everything. Anything sneezes on you and this character is dead. And also doesn't have counter, which I feel like in today's day and age, you need something with counter on it. So ultimately, I think it's okay to cut this. I don't think you need this. I think you're better off just running more 2Ks than running a blocker. But again, that's more contentious. Like that's more of like something that you can contest. Not in my opinion. I don't think it's worth running, but I can understand why you would. And then the last card are actually something super cool. It's these Jinbeis. These Jinbeis are like low key really good. Obviously, if you don't know some of the background between this Jinbei was a promo card. And it got up to a crazy price of, I believe, $80 a card, only because this Jinbei won a tournament probably a little over a year ago now. And ever since I won that tournament, the price went up to like about 80 bucks and has slowly started to drop down to where now it's in starter decks. And honestly, it looks great and it plays perfectly into the Warlord package. I'm going to read it in a second for you. But I just want you to take a good look at it because the art is amazing on this. I don't know if the promo one is foiled, but even this not being foiled, I think is still like a beautiful card. So anyways, Jinbei is a 4-drop 5k power, 1k counter. On KO, plays up to 1 character with the cost of 3 lists at the bottom of its owner's deck. How do I feel about this? I think it's okay. Being able to bottom deck a 3 cost just is not the strongest thing. However, obviously if you're up against black, you can bottom deck a Brook. And then obviously if you have things that cost reduce, like if you're in, I would say Sakazuki, but Sakazuki is not in the meta anymore. So I can kind of understand why the cost of this went down by so much, because there's nothing in blue that reduces the cost of anything. However, being able to bottom deck something that's a 3 cost, pretty good. Honestly, against Uta, this is the perfect counter against Uta because you get to bottom deck their Searcher, and that's kind of their bread and butter. Their Nami Searcher is their bread and butter. So maybe a 2 of is not bad. Even a 3 of is probably okay. Low key good card, but maybe not in the meta anymore. Not meta relevant anymore. And that was basically the whole deck. There's a very obvious reason why this is so strong. Right out of the box, this deck is playable right out of the box. Really, you don't need to do much to it. It has a lot of the staples in it that you need in Doflamingo. And in the current meta, this does great because obviously we don't have red purple law to contest it. And then Lucci is about the only thing that can really handle something like that. However, Lucci can basically handle anything. So there's no need to worry about that. Lucci regardless is gonna, take care of any deck because it just has baked in removal. So very easily, second strongest card, second strongest deck, I would say. If you can rush Lucci down, you can easily beat it. So our next one is our starter deck 18. This is the purple Luffy. Now this one I think is a little more interesting because Purple Luffy is just a good deck. Honestly, there's no two ways about it. I think it's a great deck. Obviously, a lot of people are banking on this deck being good because there's a lot of promise in OPO 9. OPO 9 has a lot of promise for a good starter, for a good like Luffy purple deck. And as you know, we have the playmat. We've got the box. I'm gonna put it over here for a minute. And then of course, we have the packs. So like I said earlier, I'm gonna open up the packs at the end of the video. Once we're done looking at these, and just put that away. And then I'm gonna try to cut this without messing things up. Fun fact, this was actually a deck I really did want to build during OPO 5. I thought it was really cool. Obviously, like the idea of giving up life for ramp and for card draw, essentially, because you're drawing your life. I thought it was a good mix. Like I feel like this is still a very good card. Very similar to, I don't know, there's really not a lot of leaders like this one where they actively take their life. Obviously there's like Enel. Enel is probably like the closest thing you can compare to it, but Enel is not, no, red yellow Luffy or red black Luffy. There you go. But red black Luffy can't actively take its own life. It has to play cards to take its own life. Whereas the purple Luffy just has it built into the leader. So let's go ahead and look at it. I'm gonna pull out the Dons. So there's our Dons. And then there is our Luffy. Great deck. I love purple Luffy, man. This is such a good looking card too, man. My goodness. So there you go. If you want a quick look at it. See if we can get like a better focus on it. See, can we get like an actual focus on it? There you go. That's good enough. It looks so good, man. I think this is a good looking card. I know, what was it? Top Loader? There was a special promo with Top Loader where they made, I think, a special version of this, a mail-in version where you can order it from their website, or you had to do something to get like an alt art of this that looks about as good. But obviously I think this looks so much better. Just because like it's a single frame, like it's a single frame character. It's not like a full like, oh, here's the whole crew going to Onigashima. Man, it's so good. It's a 5 life leader, man. Oh man, this is such a good leader. So, Luffy. This is Monkey D. Luffy, 5k, 5 life, purple card. And it has a activate main. Once per turn, you may add 1 card from the top of your life to your hand. If you have 0 or 3 or more Dawn cards on the field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. Man, that is so good. That is so good. The closest we've gotten to something, man, like I said earlier, like Black Yellow Luffy gets close, but it's just not as good as this, honestly. Like, being able to draw a card from your life is great. You have 5 life, you're drawing a card from your life. That's awesome. Being able to ramp an active Dawn, the only other deck that ramps an active Dawn, I think, is Pudding. And Pudding has really tight restrictions on how to activate, like how to ramp active Dawn. And this guy just does it. Like, he just does it for free, essentially. So I don't know, I might play this. This is such a good leader. But yeah, there's our leader. Arguably one of the better ones. I think Purple Luffy definitely can contest Dofi very easily. It's just unfortunate that he doesn't have any built-in removal. But let's talk about some of the cards that come in the deck. Obviously, as you know earlier, if you know what's in the list, you know what this is. This is Zorojuro. Zorojuro is a searcher. So it's a 4-drop, 6k power, no counter. It is a on play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 purple Straw Hat type card and add it to your hand. Then place the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is a searcher. It is, I mean, what can we say about this? Zoro, I mean, it looks good. He looks pretty cool. He's a searcher. He's a 4-drop searcher, which is a little tough because it's an on-play ability and it's not like a when attacking. Normally, when you have searchers that are higher than 1 cost, they're usually like you can activate multiple times. Like it's usually like, oh, when attacking once per turn, search your deck for whatever type. However, this is an on-play ability. Look at the top 5. Look for a purple Straw Hat. Thankfully, it's a card and not just like a character. And then, you know, do your regular searcher stuff. You put them at the bottom. But yeah, this is a 2 of. I think it's good. I think this is good. Not good enough to replace Nami, but it is good. Only because Nami can search any Straw Hat in any color. So that's my argument. Anywho, oh man, this is such a pretty card. Look at that, my goodness. This is Luffy Taro. And my gosh. Great looking card. Luffy Taro is a 7-drop AK power, no counter. A little sad, but that's fine. So on play, Dawn -1. Play up to 1 purple Straw Hat type card, character card, with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. So obviously, this is your, this is, how do you explain something like this? This is like a 2-for-1. So you play Luffy and then you get to play a different card with it. Obviously, I guess the idea is that you want to play like Zoro with it. This is probably the one where I'm like, I might want to put this in a deck. I just don't have enough purple Straw Hats in my red-purple deck to really justify it. And it's only purple. But this is a great card. It also looks awesome. I don't know if you can actually see the foiling on that, but it looks cool. Now, the reason why I bought this, it's very unfortunate. It's so sad that I had to buy 2 of these purple decks because I just wanted Usopp. Usopp Hachi. Uso Hachi. There we go. Uso Hachi, you only get 2 of these in the deck. It's so heartbreaking. I wish this was a 4 of, because I don't really need the other cards unless I want to play purple Luffy. But anyways, let's look at this. This Uso Hachi is a it's an okay card. At least this is, I believe this is custom art. It's a little hard to tell because it looks so anime accurate. However, it looks like it sits in the frame well. So whether this is a really good screen grab or they wanted to invoke the feeling of the anime, either way, I think it looks fine. I don't mind it. So Uso Hachi is a 3-cost, 3k power, 2k counter. Very important. I like that. Yes, yes, yes. It is a on-play effect. So if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So there is, so it's rest up to, so it is Sheep's Horn that this is replacing. Sheep's Horn was a 2-drop event that lets you arrest one of your opponent's 5k or less, or 5 drops or less. And I think it was a Dawn -1. However, this Usopp is a 2k counter for 1 extra Dawn. It's also a character, which is nice. And it has no Dawn minusing effects. All it wants is it wants you to be at 8 Dawn, and then it's fine. Obviously, being able to rest a 5k, like being able to rest a 5-cost character is pretty important because most blockers are around the cost of 5 to less. So around 5, 4, and 3 are where your blockers hang out. So in a pinch, you can rest your opponent's characters, you can rest your opponent's blockers, and this makes life a lot easier. Trust me, it's a good card. It was definitely worth the price of entry just to get those. Another card that I did want to add to the deck, and actually the replacement, the card I'm pulling out to put this into the deck, it's probably kind of contentious and a little bit silly to pull out, which I might consider putting it back in, but we'll see. I'll show you that once we actually make upgrades to the decks, but it is Onami. Onami is an awesome card. It is basically, it is quite literally a cuter version of Queen. And that's perfect, because I don't like Queen. I don't like Queen as a character. However, this is basically Queen, and it's a way cuter version of Queen. It's a Straw Hat, which is very important in the deck. More searchable things is better. And this Onami is a 4-drop, 2k power, 1k counter. So, not the greatest stats, but good enough. Good enough to do its job. It's a blocker, as we talked about. I'm sorry, I think I'm getting sick, so I don't know how nasally I sound, but I can definitely feel it in my nose. I can feel it like I'm out of breath more often, and I feel like I need to drink more stuff than usual. So give me a minute. That's good. There we go. So, Onami. Onami has the on-play ability of, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, trash 1 card and then draw 2 cards. Trash 1 card from your hand and draw 2 cards. There you go. So, it's slightly different from Queen because Queen does the reverse. Queen basically lets you draw 2 cards and then discard 1 card, where Nami wants you to trash a card first and then do your thing. However, there's no Dawn minusing effect here. It's just looking for the requirements of 8 Dawn on the field, and then you're fine. So good replacement, I think, for Queen. However, I can understand if you don't want to cut Queen from your deck. Both options are fine, honestly. Go with whatever your heart tells you. Our next card, I think, is another sleeper card, and that's Sangoro. Sangoro, or Sanji, is another draw engine, which arguably could be better than Nami, but I think Nami's a little bit better than Sanji here. So it is a 5-drop 6k power, 1k counter. When attacking once per turn, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on the field, draw 1 card. So obviously, if you want just to draw, this is perfectly fine. It is a big body that can attack, and it has 1k power, or 1k counter. So, and it's a recurring effect. So whenever you attack once per turn, you can do this effect of just drawing a card. So not bad. I think this is good. I probably won't be adding it to my deck, but I think it is worth having in the deck. And then some of the other cards that we've seen in the past are going to be things like Usohachi. This is the original 2k counter. A lot of people used to play this card. Obviously, now you don't have to. So this Usohachi is a 3k, 4k power, 2k counter. Attach 1 Dawn when attacking. If you have 8 or more Dawn, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So arguably, you could still play this. I believe this is like a Top Knot. I believe Top Knot does the exact same thing of resting or bouncing. No, this is rest. Okay, no, never mind. Arguably, Top Knot is still better, but being able to rest more stuff is never a bad thing, especially on your 2k counters. Next one is Robin. Robin is, I don't think it's unique to this set, is it? No, it's from 05. So we've seen this before. It's a 4-drop 5k power, 1k counter. On play, if you have 8 or more rested Dawn or on the field, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less. Pretty good. Robin's always been kind of like, Robin cards have always kind of been like this. Like, I know there's the red one and now this one that like to KO things or get rid of things that are low cost. So good thing to keep in mind. Here's another card. It is Jinbei. Jinbei is actually a card I did think about putting into the deck at one point. However, I don't know if it's really worth it because Jinbei is a 5-drop 6k power, 1k counter blocker. It has an opponent's turn. If you have 10 Dawn cards on the field, this character gains 1k power. So it's okay. A lot of times when you're in like the purple Luffy decks, you're usually never at 10 Dawn very long. Usually you're at 10 Dawn for like maybe 1 turn and then you're right back to 0. Of course, that's in the red purple Luffy deck. I do stuff like that. So ultimately, this is just like a big body blocker. Don't have to really worry about it too much. And then here is our next card. This is the original Zoro Juro. So this is the ramp one. This one works great in red purple Luffy, and in most other decks, it's like okay. I'm still on the fence whether or not I want to put this back into my red purple deck. However, we'll see. Maybe things change in the future. So Zoro Juro is a 3-cost 4k power, 1k counter. When attacking, if you have 3 or less life cards, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set as active. So obviously, in the red purple Luffy deck, this is just a free ramp spell. If you manage to untap with this and attack, you just get to ramp 1 active Dawn for free. However, a lot of opponents are very aware of what this card does and when it's active and when it's not active. So a lot of times this gets dealt with pretty quick. So you can run it if you want. I choose not to run it. I run, I'm trying to run Mr. 2s. However, Mr. 2s are so expensive. These things are $100 now. The alts I'm trying to collect, they're $100. So arguably, technically I have 2 English and 1 Japanese Mr. 2. I hope to have 4 English versions, but that's very unlikely now because they're at $100, man. I'm not paying that for a card. Or if I'm gonna pay it, I'm gonna be very upset about paying that. So gotta get my phone a little bit away from the from the edge of the screen. It's touching the screen. Let's see, can I push this a little bit further back? No, I can't. Anyways, Choppa. Let me show you the card first before I try reading his name. He has a kind of like a weird Digimon name. Chopper in this set. There you go. Now you can see him. So there's your Chopper. Choppa Emon. Chopper Emon. There you go. So Chopper Emon is a 2-drop 3k power, 1k counter. On play, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on the field, set up to one of your purple Straw Hat type characters with 6k power or less as active. Actually, this Chopper actually might be good. Maybe. Low-key, this could be a good card. 6k power or less, set as active. It's kind of like a green ability for Straw Hat cards. Well, for purple Straw Hats. Not bad. Okay. All right, Chopper, I see you. Probably won't be playing it, but it is good. And then here's the Frankies, the Franosuke, it's Frankie. This is your 2k counter Frankie. And it's actually like somewhat decent. I've debated whether or not I want to play this in the deck. This Frankie is a 5-drop, 4k power, 2k counter. Attach 1 Dawn. If you have 8 or more Dawn cards on the field, this character gains Rush. That is probably the only reason why you would want to run this. Because late in the game, if you want to sneak in an extra attack, you have to have 6 Dawn open. That's the thing. That's the problem. Is you need 6 Dawn to play this on the field, attach a Dawn to it, and then swing in for 5k. 6 Dawn 5k swing is kind of meh. It's a very easy thing to get out of. This is mostly like a gotcha card. So this is like a gotcha. It's how you win games with gotcha cards. However, you're giving up a 2k counter from hand. So arguably, it's a good card. Arguably, it's a medium card. That's something you can make up for. You can decide yourself. And then our next one is, I don't know how to pronounce this. Honkichi, I think, or Brook as we know him. Sick art, honestly. Probably one of the coolest Wano arts that we got for the Straw Hats, arguably. But he looks sick. Like Brook looks awesome in his in his skeleton ghost form. So for 4 drop, 6k power, no counter. Unfortunate. He has an on-play ability of, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on the field, give up to 2 of your opponent's characters minus 2k power during this turn. Actually, still not that bad. I kind of wish he was red, because playing something like this in Marco could have been game-changing. Big body that reduces the power of your opponent's stuff, I think is not to be messed with. Good card. I don't know if it would be better in different colors, but not bad here. And then I believe almost our last cards. We have our 1-drop event searcher. It is when you're at sea, you fight against pirates. This is a 1-drop event searcher for the Straw Hats, the Heart Pirates, and the Kid Pirates. And it is main, look at the top 3 cards at the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Straw Hat, Kid Pirate, or Heart Pirate type card, add it to your hand, then place the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. This is an okay searcher. Obviously it's a 1-drop, which is good for a searcher. It doesn't have counter, which kind of sucks, which of course it's an event card, so it's not going to have counter. Oh, it also has a trigger of activate its main effect. What also sucks is that it's a top 3, so you're not going 5 deep, you're only going 3 deep. So arguably, I don't think this is the greatest searcher. If you need more searchers, you can play this. I wouldn't really recommend playing it. And then our last card of the day is probably one of the cooler looking Gear 5ths that the game has set out. This thing is so... I love this art. I wish this was the art of the extra turn Luffy. Because my goodness. Also, are we on like an infinite loop of this one song? Hang on. No, we are not on an infinite loop. It feels like we're on an infinite loop. I'm just going to restart this song. There we go. How's the volume on that? Probably need a little bit of a lowering. Sorry, the music kind of, it finally got to me. Hold on. That's probably fine. All right, there we go. So now we can talk about the last card before we start tearing packs open and looking at stuff. So this Luffy was another promo Luffy, not that old, I believe, but it's a vanilla Luffy, which is probably the only unfortunate thing. And you get 4 of these vanilla 10 drops. Ugh. I mean, 10, you know, 4 10 drops in your deck. Usually you want to be building around that strategy if you want this many 10 drops. I don't think Luffy is the right deck to put something like this in it, but it looks so good. It's such a good looking promo. It's a vanilla, so it's a 10 drop 2k or 12k power, 1k counter. You can barely see it, but it's there, and that's basically it. 4 Emperors and then Straw Hat. It's awesome. I love the way this card looks. It's unfortunate that he's a vanilla. Very unfortunate. But yeah, there you go. There are the decks. Both decks have been looked at. And both decks, I think, if I had to be honest, I really do think these are probably the 2 of the strongest starter decks that you can get in this rotation right now. I would say probably the 3rd strongest would be Uta. I argue that Uta is probably the 3rd strongest, only because I played against so many Utas, and I think Uta is just like, it's such an aggressive deck. It's probably the most aggressive deck out there. It just has the chains of Film Engine attached to it. Hang on, let me put my dog outside. There we go. Blech. Blech. But yeah, other than that, Whitebeard is a strong leader. The Whitebeard engine is not the strongest. The Katakuri is always like, again, he's a strong leader, not a very strong deck. What do we have left? We have Smoker. I think Smoker is probably like the 4th strongest. I did contemplate buying a Smoker deck. However, there's nothing in that deck I need or that I want to use. So at the end of the day, this ended up being the 2 decks I felt like were the ones that I wanted. And now that we've done that, I'm probably going to, should I make the upgrades first? No, I don't think I'm going to upgrade the decks here. Not right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my packs and see what I pulled. Spoilers, I do have the packs that my brother opened. So my brother opened up 2 packs, or he opened up 2 boxes. He got 2 starter decks as well. And I have his packs here, or I have his opened packs. So he already took what was worth taking, and I just have the leftovers. However, one of the cards he didn't take were actually really good. I'll show you in a minute what it is. And I'm gonna put this over here. And then we have our second Doflamingo box. And then make sure I'm over here. There we go. So again, this is gonna be a short stream. One Piece streams tend to be pretty short. Mostly because like we're mostly just doing pack openings, box openings, looking at stuff, looking at decks. Nothing out of the ordinary for me. There we go. I could yap a lot longer about this stuff. I got nothing to yap about. I'll just put that there. There we go. Just more trash. And then finally, probably the main reason why anybody's watching this is for the packs that I got. Man, I hope this continues to be. Oh, hey, Green. Good to see you again, Mr. Bean. You came in at the perfect time. We're about to open up my four packs. Hold on, music might be a little too loud. It's hard to tell. There we go. That might be okay. So yeah, I just opened up 2 of my starter decks. As you can tell, I got the Luffy and I got the Doflamingo ones. I got 2 of them, so I already opened up the decks. We talked about the cards, and now I'm gonna be opening up the packs. Oh, yes, thank you. I need the green luck. Lord knows. Have you heard about the God packs that are coming out? There are people out there who have God packs in the US. And I don't know if it's real, but I hope I have one of them. It's only real if I pull it. If I didn't pull it, then it's not real. So let's see what I got. So, Gum Gum Giant Gatling, or what is it? Gravel? Gavel. There you go. There's our first card. This is back in 03. Oh my goodness. Trash one card from your hand, give up to one of your leaders 4k power during this battle, then trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. That seems like a Nami card, if I had to guess. Duval is a blocker that lets you rearrange the top 3. Hey, cool. Radical Beam. Perfect 1-drop. Izo. Great 2k counter. Inuyarashi, we've talked about in the past. Let's see. Trash 1 card from your hand, K up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to the number of your opponent's life cards. That's fine. Hound Blaze. Literally nobody plays this card anymore. Okay, Vin Smoke. Not too bad. I like Vin Smoke. She's cute. Let's see if we can actually get like a look at her face. Hello, please. There you go. Sweet. So Vin Smoke is on play. If the number of your Dawn cards on the field is equal or less to the number of your opponent's field, then, and you have a 5 or less cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. Okay, not bad. Look at that, Bella Betty. Okay, cool. Actually, what's cool is that this is not an alt art. This is the this is like an extended art of the original Bella Betty. And wow, that's a pretty card. What a great looking card there. So this is the Revolutionary Army Searcher. So look at top 5, reveal up to 1 Revolutionary type card, other than Bella Betty, put it into your hand, and then place the rest to the bottom of your deck. Yeah, I love this. This looks sick. This is such a sick looking extended art. Okay. Vinsmoke Yonji. Yonji is probably the stepchild of the Vinsmoke cards. So activate main, Dawn -1. If your leader, okay, you may trash this card. If your leader has the Germa 66 type, play up to 1 Vinsmoke Yoji with the cost of 4 from your hand or trash. That's fine. Hey, cool. All right, nice. I got the who is this? Gecko Moria. This is the Gecko. The Gecko Dawn. Unfortunately, it's not the gold one and it's not the foiled one. But that looks pretty good. I'd actually like to use these. All right, sick. Okay, pretty good first pack. Not bad first pack. Let's see what the second pack has. Please be the God pack. Please. I could really use that extra money to invest into more decks. What is this? Oh, okay. It's the Boa. This is the 3-cost blocker Boa that also plays off a trigger. Guard point. Guard point's pretty good. Guard point's is a counter event that gives you plus 3k. Vinsmoke Niji is basically like the other Vinsmokes. You can trash this character and then play 1 Vinsmoke Niji with the cost of 5 from your trash or hand. So not bad. Nice. Could always use another peel off. I love Sanji's peel off. It's such a good blue card. Neko Mamushi, attached to Dawn. This can attack active characters. Not bad. Ice Age. Ice Age, a really good event. Give 1 character -5 cost during this turn. For a 1-drop, that's pretty good. This is the Blocker Marco. Blocker Marco is a blocker, of course, and then on KO, you can trash 1 Whitebeard card from your hand, and then if you have 2 or less life cards, you can play this character from the trash rested. So, not bad. Then, yo, let's go! Oh shit! Yo, look at that, green! You did it! I just smacked a bunch of stuff. Yo, not a God pack, but hell, that's pretty close. Katakuri, yo, my goodness, look at the boy. That's my little man. That is sick. Oh my goodness, Katakuri. That's the secret rare. Oh, this art is sick. I love this art so much. It's such a good art. I love the original alt, but this one just hits different, man. So, 8 cost, 8k power, on play, add up to 1 card with a cost of 8 or less to the top or bottom of its owner's life cards face up. Great yellow removal. Ah, Duval! Darn you! And then there's our Dawn. Who is this? Oh, this is Yamato. So if you didn't know, this is the Yamato alt, or the Yamato Dawn. Actually, it doesn't even look that bad. Looks pretty good. Yo, let's go. Oh, I love this, man. This is such a good. Okay, 2 packs in, man. We're hitting gold. We are hitting gold here. Let's keep that gravy train going. So, all right. The only way this could be better if I get a god pack. Please let there be 1 god pack in here. Okay, no spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers. Okay. It's Vinsuk Ichiji. Ichiji, I believe this is the one that plays the Rusher. Yeah, this plays the 7-drop Rusher. Probably the best one to get. So that's guard point. Radical Beam, 2 Radical Beams, 2 guard points. That's awesome. Zuru, awesome 2k counter. Nekomamushi again. That's fine. Satori, really good 2k counter. Also plays off of Trigger. And then, all right, not bad. Doflamingo, 10-drop Doflamingo. I'm down with that. That's sick. Oh, yo, let's go. Peril Sparrow? Are the cards telling me something? I think the cards are speaking to me, guys. They're telling me to play Katakuri. Oh no. I don't think I can resist. That's the alt too. Dang, that looks good. Yo. Wow, that's the Peril Sparrow alt. That is a 5-drop. So it's a 3-drop 5k power, no counter. On play, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Big Mom Pirate card and add it to your hand. Then place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. Trigger, you may trash 1 card from your hand, play this card. That is sick. Wow, look at that. Mama freaking Mia. I think there's a Katakuri deck in the future for me. And oh, there's Vince Milk Niji again. And then, oh, nice. We got a Reiju Dawn. Not bad. So pretty nice. It's just our hand. You know, what more can you ask for? Little hearts. Actually looks pretty good. All right. 2 great pulls so far. Oh man. Oh, this is so good. Green, you showed up at the perfect time. You know what's up. Come here. Come on. God pack. God pack. God pack. Let's go. God pack. So this is gonna open up like this, and they're all gonna be manga rares. Oh, dang it. Yeah, I'm glad you're I'm glad you're here to witness all the good pulls. So Shockwave, man, Shockwave. This used to be such a good card, man. Oh, it's a 2-drop event, counter. Up to one of your leader characters, one of your leaders or characters gain 4k power during this battle, then KO up to one of your opponent's active characters with a cost of 3 or less. Trigger, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. I don't know, this card still feels really good to me. This feels like such a good card to me. I wish more people would play stuff like this. We got Brule, that's fine. We got Wiper, that's good. Our second Suru, great. Bartolomeo, or Barto Moleo. Bart, or Bartman. This actually used to be a promo, in case you guys didn't know. This was an old promo. I believe this was for the film promo. I don't remember where this came from. Tournaments? I think this was a tournament promo. So it's a 2-drop 3k power, 1k counter. At the end of your turn, you may rest this character. Set up to one of your film type characters other than this as active. Still pretty strong. Not a bad card. But yeah, I remember this used to be one of those cards that like spiked up in price really high back when Uta was good. Now I don't think it's that expensive. So our next one is, oh, another Bart. We got the blocker Bart. Actually, this one I think is arguably a little bit better because it's a 2k counter plus it's the blocker. So it pulls double duty, which is nice. We got the Sabo. Literally probably one of the worst Sabos you could pull. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. We got a guard point. Love to see it. We got a foil Suru, which I think it always comes in foil. Actually, is this the pirate foil or is this the pirate foil? Did I get a pirate foil? No, yeah, it was this one. This one was the pirate foil. It's really hard to see on camera, the pirate foil. Where are the skull and crossbones, damn it. It's so hard to see. And then Suru. And then, okay, we got a Luchidon. There is our Lucci. Man, I don't know. The leopard print throws me off a little bit, but this does look pretty good. And then, actually, I wanted to show you what my brother pulled. It was a Laudon. What's cool about this Laudon, though, is that it's actually foiled. And just as a comparison, you can see, like, I don't know how easy it is to see. You can kind of see the slight texturing of this Dawn. Can you see it? You can kind of see the foiling on this. These foil Dawns look so sick in person. It's like so subtle. It's really hard to capture on this camera. But there's like slightly, there you go, kind of right there. You can see some of like the raised edges of what the foil Dawns look like. So that's what my brother got. That was like the coolest thing that I wanted to show off. But holy moly, we got like big bucks. The rays real strong for a second. Yeah, it was like for a split second you could see them. And it's also like the I don't know if it's easy to tell, but like the edges here are also slightly raised. See if I can catch the sun rays again. There you go. But yeah, I really like these foil. I don't recommend buying the gold frames. I would recommend buying the foil of just the regular Dawns. But yeah, there you go. There are there's our stream for today. We got 2 awesome pools. Actually, where is Bello Betty? Bello Betty, you deserve to be out here too. You've earned a place here. And then what did I get in the last pack? I think the last pack was just Suru. If I remember, yeah, it was just Suru. That's okay though. Suru is fine. These were like the big ones. Holy moly, what a pool. Easily, these 3 alone would have paid for the boxes I just got. But I'm a little tempted. I'm slightly tempted to build the Katakuri deck now that I've got these guys hanging around. But yeah, thank you guys. I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up. I will be upgrading my Luffy deck. I'm gonna be upgrading my Luffy deck, and I'm gonna be upgrading my Boa deck with these new cards, and then I'll be doing a stream later, probably next week. I'll do a stream next Friday, showing off the upgrades and some of the things I changed out and some of the ratios I changed. But yeah, thank you Green, for joining me and giving me your luck once again. I appreciate the pools. And thank you for everyone else that is also watching today. Whether you're watching live or you're watching the VOD, I appreciate you spending some time. I'll catch you in the next one. The legendary Frank. Thank you. No, the legendary Green. Literally, like, I don't know how it works, man. I don't know how the universe manages to line these things up. But you always end up being here right when we get like a crazy cool pool. So let's wrap it up. I don't know. Do we have someone to raid? I think I will try to raid someone. We're going to raid one of my buddies over on a stream. Oh, rip. That's dead. Try not to crush my cards. And then, let's see. We're going to raid Sunshine Noka. If you don't know who that is, it is a buddy of mine. How do I get just your name? There we go. So thank you so much. I think it is. Nope. Son. Sorry, now we're in the awkward phase. Did that work? No, that did not work. Oh no. Everything is falling apart. It is slash raid probably. Is it like that? Okay, it is slash. Did that work? There we go. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you appreciated the unboxing, the stuff, and the pools that we got. Got some amazing stuff today. And I will catch you guys on the next one. So goodbye. Goodbye. See ya. Bye.